the things I'm most proud of is having transformed this piece of property into a garden where wildlife thrives. I feel it's a really good ecosystem for all the critters that are here, and I've really, especially in the last dozen years or so, been concentrating on planting a lot of natives and continuing to remove the turf grass and really planting things that I know will attract and allow the wildlife to thrive. This area of native plants behind me was established about 12 years ago when we removed a large Norway maple that was in this area. I could barely grow a hosta underneath it, so it was good to take it out, and I really wanted to put something in its place that I felt would be more beneficial for the wildlife, and the results were just amazing. It was amazing how quickly the bees of all sorts, butterflies, everything came in and utilized the flowers. I began seeing the very large black and gold bees, which I didn't know what they were at the time, but they were just really big, and it was very impressive. And I was really hooked on planting more native plants and getting more bees in. I participate in a citizen science program here in the state of Wisconsin that is called the Bumblebee Brigade, where citizens can submit their photos of bumblebees, and it allows the DNR here to track the populations, and it's been really enjoyable to participate in that program. They have training videos and other materials on their website. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. But they are a really great organization to be involved with, and I encourage anyone who's living in Wisconsin to take the time to learn how to identify the different types of bumblebees. There's only less than 20, so it's a manageable amount. And while some of the different species can have a lot of variation in their form, and there's differences between males and females often, it's challenging but very manageable and rewarding to learn how to identify the different species of bumblebees. So of the 20 or so species of bumblebees in the state of Wisconsin, there are about 16 or so that have been found locally in our area. So far, I've identified 14 of those in our yard, so that's really great. And several of them are rare. One is federally endangered, the rusty patch bumblebee. So this is really exciting for me to be able to provide this habitat to help out the bumblebees. So I have a lot of plants in this garden, and I would say I'm probably up to about 65% native plants. I don't think it's necessary to have 100% native plants, but I would really encourage, if you've got a lot of area of lawn, you think about taking out some of that turf grass and providing some habitat for the little critters to help them out, and really it's helping us out in the long run. I enjoy having the birds around, as most people do. I used to put out bird feeders in the wintertime, but I've found since I've been planting these native plants that it really isn't necessary, because the native plants provide so much seed material that they just love it. We're very fortunate here to have a very large piece of property in the city. In the front yard, we recently had to take out 3 large magnolias, which had magnolia scale, but this gave us a whole nother area to plant more natives I'm really excited to fill in that area with native plantings and have even more area for the bees, which is going to be just so neat. And I can't wait to see what new species we bring in, and it'll be really exciting to see that area transform into another ecosystem where the bees and beetles and moths and butterflies and the birds all can thrive. So recently I decided to create a piece of artwork that showcased all the different species of bumblebees that I've been able to identify in the garden. So far I'm up to 14, and I just am so proud that I've been able to attract that many different species of bumblebees to the yard. I picked up these 2 metal art pieces at the Habitat Restore for a few dollars. I'm going to use them as the basis for my pollinator habitat artwork. I'll use one to do the painting on and the other to mount a reproduction of the painting in the garden. First, I did a mock-up of the design on my iPad. I used photos of bees that I had taken in the yard. I sorted through many photos of bees to find the perfect representative photo of each species of bee. I trace the outline of the bee onto the piece and fill it in with a primer. Then draw in the details of the bee with a pencil before I begin painting. The paint I'm using is acrylic mural paint. I initially thought I would put this piece outdoors, but in the end decided to have a reproduction made and put that out instead. I ordered vinyl lettering to apply to the piece. The mock-up of the design included the scientific name of the bees. I decided to leave that off in order to simplify, and also because I could not get vinyl lettering that small. After the bees were completed, I added the vinyl lettering and a few more touches, and then clear coated the piece. I photographed the finished artwork and sent the file off to have a reproduction printed on aluminum. I wanted to use something special, not just plain old fence posts, to mount the piece. We found these great iron pieces, which I believe to be hammock supports, at the Restore for just a few dollars. I offset the height and orientation of the 2 pieces and spaced them 10 inches apart. We also added some extra metal pieces to the bases to keep them from shifting around in the soil. We were fortunate to have such nice weather in late December. We could dig easily into the ground with no frost. How's that look?
This one's more important. This one right there.
All right.
So it makes sense to move it like this way or that way. So that one's good.
was happy with the results of the mounting supports for the artwork. It looked like a little sculpture all its own. Next, we needed to make modifications to the metal artwork that we would mount our aluminum signage to. We needed to replace the fiberboard backing of the metal piece with some cedar that would be more weather resistant. I had previously added paint and clear coating to help slow the rusting. Here you can see how the reproduction compares to the original artwork. The reproduction that I'm holding is not quite as vibrant and detailed as the original, but it's pretty good. Mounting the aluminum reproduction onto the steel artwork gives it additional strength and support.